All rise.
Seated. Ms. Ronick.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're present in the matter of State of Ohio versus Timothy Walker, case number 24-CR001140. The defendant is present in court with defense counsel Chad Malky. We were previously in court on January 29th, 2025, where the defendant withdrew his previously entered plea of not guilty and pled guilty to count 1, theft, felony of the 5th degree, count 3, felony of the 5th degree, and count 5, theft from a person in a protected class, felony of the 4th degree. The defendant was found guilty, and the court ordered a pre-sentence investigation and report and victim impact statement. The state has had the opportunity to review those reports and is prepared to proceed with sentencing. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Law Nerds Unite. Zach put this together for me. I haven't seen it. It's probably good.
Mr. Mulkey.
Yes, Your Honor, we are prepared to go forward with sentencing at this time. Thank you so much, Your Honor. My client is 43 years old. He is married. He has one child who's 22 years old. He indicates to me, Your Honor, that he receives veterans disability benefits for a number of disabilities. He served approximately 16 years in the Army. He further indicates he was honorably discharged, Your Honor. He does have incoming proceeds as a result of his disability benefits, with which he plans to use to pay the restitution owed in this case, the approximately $12,000, Your Honor. He indicates he would have no issue paying at least $1,000 a month for the next 12 months and possibly have the entirety of the restitution paid off sooner than that if needed to do so. For that reason, Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider a community control sanction in this matter, not a term of incarceration in the local jail or in the prison at this time. Your Honor, he acknowledged to me when I talked to him and as I reviewed the PSR that he should have been forthright in his dealings with these folks, these jobs that he never completed, Your Honor, and he does want to acknowledge that and make that right at this time, Your Honor. He is retired, so he's not currently working, but
In fairness, he did have to pay for his membership in the Wyandotte Swingers Club.
to pay, no outstanding warrants. He doesn't have a valid license right now. He indicates he chooses not to get one. Driving makes him uncomfortable, Your Honor. And with all that being said, again, we would ask for community control, no prison time, no actual jail time on this case, and then whatever community control sanctions, of course, deemed appropriate by the court, Your Honor, including the aforementioned restitution. Thank you.
What do you have to say?
I take 100% responsibility.
No, you don't. You were telling the probation officer that you sold the business and you didn't know that they didn't follow up. So you don't take any responsibility.
I did say that, Judge.
Why did you say that?
I was wrong. It was my fault. I signed these contracts with these customers.
Who did you sell the business to?
One, and I can get you his last name. I can't pronounce it.
Okay. I don't believe you. You had contact with these people up until you refused to have contact with all these people. Over and over and over.
Judge O'Donnell coming in strong as usual. Like, no, that's not the truth. I don't believe you. Let's just kick it off there.
They tried. And then you promised them you'd give them the money back, and then you just disappeared. So you didn't sell the business to Juan somebody or other, okay? You just took the money and didn't do the work. So you don't take any responsibility. I don't know what that word means in the context of a criminal case anyway, but you don't take any acknowledgement that you did anything wrong.
I did.
Okay?
It was wrong on my end. What I did was wrong, 100% wrong. I want to make it right, and I will make it right. The only thing I can do by making it right is paying them back what I took from them.
3 years ago. So what, I'm going to believe you that you're going to pay him back?
I swear on everything that's holy, Judge, that
Doesn't
I'm
mean
going to
anything.
pay.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
If you give me the opportunity,
Your word when I read this pre-sentence report, it blares out at me that you're not to be believed with anything that you say.
If you give me the opportunity to show you that I am truthful with paying all this restitution back and anything else that I need to pay back,
Oh, sweet Jesus.
all I ask for is one chance. And if I mess up, which I won't, but if I do, then have your way with me, Judge.
I can do that right now.
I understand that. But I just ask.
What did you do with
Thanks for giving me the option I already have.
all this money that you stole?
I don't know, Judge.
You don't know. Why don't you know?
I don't know where it went. I had a real bad drinking problem. I had a bad gambling problem, but that's not an excuse. I don't know where it all went.
Didn't you tell her, the probation officer, you didn't have any problems? You certainly didn't have a drinking problem, right?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I don't do drugs. I don't gamble anymore.
So that's where it went, gambling.
Majority of it, gambling and drinking. Yes, Judge. If you give me the opportunity to prove to you that
Maybe the occasional hooker.
I will pay this back in a timely manner that you set forth.
Well, you know, isn't there more to it than just paying it back? I mean, they've been, first of all, Miss McAdams, you really took advantage of her. Okay? You knew her. You knew her husband was a vet.
Yes,
You knew he had recently passed away.
that is correct.
And then you went and said you would help her any way you could. And boy, you really stuck it to her. You really took advantage of her. That's despicable.
I did, Your Honor, I did. And there's nothing I can say besides that I was completely wrong in doing that and doing it to everybody else.
No kidding. No kidding. So, beyond the monetary damage that you did to all three of these folks, what about the emotional damage you did, especially to her?
I understand.
You understand?
I broke a trusted friendship. You know, I'll never be able to regain that. I wish I could in any way whatsoever.
And then you just wouldn't respond to her. And then she put something on Facebook. And you immediately responded. Nice job controlling the little group chat on that stupid Facebook Kirtland thing. Nice job doing that. Part of the game.
Oh, hey, shots fired. I saw your stupid Facebook. Judge O'Donnell never ceases to amaze me.
So she put something on Facebook. Then you call her. And you say to her, what the fuck is wrong with you? Did you say that to her?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Well, my guess is you said that to her. Okay? Because there's one thing I know, okay? This is the third time I've met you, right? Pre-trial, plea, and now.
Yes, Judge.
I've not met Miss McAdams. I did read her victim impact statement. And I believe her, I don't believe you. So you said that to her.
Then I did say that to her,
You
Judge.
did.
I honestly, I don't remember, but I do use that language, or I did use that language quite a bit.
So you not only have, from what you're telling me, assume it's true that you had a drinking problem and you had a gambling problem, you also had a theft problem.
Yes.
You have no respect for other people's property.
I Unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't thinking of it that way.
You're a grown adult, right?
Yes, Judge.
You served in the Army, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you know right from wrong, right?
I do, Judge.
Okay. So don't tell me you weren't thinking of it. You thought clearly about it. And this nonsense that you were on a ventilator from COVID and you couldn't perform a job when you were in Florida. This is a big con that you started with this Facebook thing. You know, what's it called? Something Kirtland? All around Kirtland?
That's a group.
You don't live in Kirtland,
No, I do not.
and you were the, however, you become the administrator of all around Kirtland for the sole purpose of stealing money.
I did work in Kirtland when that group was created.
Right. Were you all around Fairport too? Were you that one? Were you administrator of that?
No.
one? Okay. There's more money in Kirtland than there is in Fairport, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. Where did you grow up?
Menor?
You know goddamn well there's more money in Kirtland than there is in Fairport. So don't tell me you don't.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, this is so fun. He is just not having any of it.
When that page was created, I was working at La Kersey Garden Center for the sole purpose of trying to advertise for them. That was the sole purpose of why that page was created at the
Well,
time.
listen to me. Listen to me. Don't bullshit me. Okay? When somebody, I forget which victim it was, went on that Facebook page looking for suggestions for contractors, you immediately responded because you're in control of the whole thing. Okay? That's why you set it up. So what's the price you should pay beyond the restitution for what you did?
To be perfectly honest with you, Judge, I would ask all the victims what they would want me to do for them, or to help the community out, or
I already got their statements. I already know what they want. I asked you what you think I should do to you beyond the restitution.
some type of community outreach in support of less. Giving my time up to help people in need, to help the communities, whatever they may need. The only thing I can offer is
Why would I send you out into the community when you've demonstrated you're a con man? Why would I do that? Why would I give you another field of victims to troll upon?
to give me a chance to prove that I'm a better person.
Well, if you can prove, you don't need me to tell you to do something to prove you're a better person. You can prove that you're a better person by being a better person. Okay, it starts with not stealing from other people. I have nothing to do with you being a better person or a worse person.
Step one, stop stealing.
No, I have nothing to do with that.
I would like to show everybody that I am a good person by allowing me to.
Nobody's standing in your way.
I want to prove it to myself that I'm a good person. I want to prove it to everybody that I am a good person. I made horrible mistakes, and they were very bad mistakes.
You're not, and we don't care.
It's not a mistake, though. It's a conscious action. Those weren't mistakes. Mistakes is you meant to turn left, but you turned right, and then you had to double back to go back where you can. That's a mistake. You made conscious decisions to steal from people, to
And
take advantage of people.
I did.
It's not a mistake.
I never wanted to do anything like that again.
Well, then you shouldn't.
and I won't.
I hope you won't.
And I hope I can, prove to everybody that that will never occur again.
Well, there's 100% way to prove to people that will never occur again. You know what that is?
Not to do it again.
Not to do it again. This ain't rocket science we're dealing with here.
I understand, Judge. But I still need to prove to myself, to everybody, I need to. So everybody knows I'm not this horrible person that I was. I was a horrible person. Doing this to my friends, people that trusted me.
Anything else you want to say?
I mean, I can't change what I did. What I did was completely wrong. I knew what I was doing at the time, and it was wrong. The only thing I could do now is try to make everything better by paying them back, which is perfectly fine, and hopefully they can forgive me one day for being a horrible person.
Well, nobody can ever change the past. It's impossible. Okay? Now, whether they change course in the future is up to them. Okay? I'm a little skeptical of you when you give that bullshit story to the probation officer that you sold the business and you thought everything was being done, which that isn't even close. I mean, that is so, I don't know.
I'm a little skeptical of you and your bullshit story. That's that's what I'm thinking here. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Why you peddled that to her, okay? Because these people, these three people chased you and chased you and chased you, and you ignored them and dropped off the face of the earth until she put something on Facebook, Miss McAdams, and you responded to it. You didn't sell it. What? So that makes me very skeptical that you're apt to change at all.
I am, Judge. And all I ask...
You can tell me that, okay, and I can say I'm skeptical, and you can tell me you're going to change, and I can say I'm skeptical, and we can do this till noon or so. I mean, so what? Doesn't mean anything.
I can prove it to you. If you give me the opportunity, I will prove it to you.
You don't, see, that's where you're mistaken. You don't need an opportunity. I don't give opportunities. I just sit here, okay, and deal with what comes before me. You create your own opportunity.
I will make that happen. I know I can, and I know I will.
All right, have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Veronica?
Yeah, I believe this.
Okay, for all you Karens out there, I don't believe him, and neither does the judge, and he's a man. Okay? So I expect my comments to be flooded with, I think you're just saying that because he's a man.
Is present today and would like to make a statement to the board prior to the state making the recommendation.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to address the defendant if I can.
Sure.
Tim, before I go any further, I want to know why you hurt me. Please don't use the excuse of substance abuse, and don't lie. I have no tolerance for lying. So why did you hurt me?
I don't have a good reason for it, Kathy. I had the money, and I didn't do what I intended to do with it.
Well, you broke my heart.
I apologize with everything
You
in
were
my
at my
soul.
husband's funeral, and you promised you would help me. So, today, you'll receive what you deserve. Whatever the judge says you deserve worse. But that's not my call. The judge will determine your fate. Only you can change the direction of your life. No one else. The judge will give you the tools, but only you can use them. Tim, You need to look at the man staring back at you in the mirror and finding out if you like that person, because that person isn't very likable. You hurt me. Only you can change the person in the mirror. I'm going to give you something you haven't asked for. Of course, I want my money back. But I'm giving you my forgiveness. I'm not offering it. I'm giving it to you. And that's not easy for me to do. It's been 3 years of this, excuse the expression, bullshit. And it needs to end. But the forgiveness starts here and now, and you need to prove it to every single person in this room that you can and will change. I never want to see your name again. I don't want to see it in any court roster. Nothing, ever again. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. As part of the plea agreement, the state did agree to recommend community control sanctions at sentencing, and the state entered into that agreement for the sole purpose of the hope that the victims will get paid back and will get their money back. The defendant has spoken a lot about wanting the opportunity to make things right and wanting the opportunity to pay these people back. These people have been asking for their money back for 3 years. He's had 3 years to pay it back, and actually the Gerbachs, Carrie and Patrick, have a default judgment against the defendant for the money that he owes them, and he has not paid them. So that opportunity has existed. He has not paid them back.
Behavior in this case is disgusting.
Currently has a case pending in Cuyahoga County regarding working for a Dollar General and stealing over $10,000 for that Dollar General. And I think the theme here is he is put in a position of trust. People put their trust in him, and he repeatedly breaks that trust, and he repeatedly steals from them. Specifically, Ms. Bach as well. This affected her business and her livelihood. She was relying on the defendant so that she could make her livelihood renting out her property, and she was not able to do that because of the defendant's actions. So the state is asking for community control so the defendant can pay the full restitution amount of $12,017.49. That is not the entire amount that he took from the victims. However, one of the victims was able to repurpose some of the items that the defendant left at her home, and so she herself did the math to figure out what she wanted to be fair. She wanted to be fair to the defendant, and so she was able to figure out that about $560 worth of things she was able to use, and she is not asking for that in restitution. Altogether, the money that he took was $12,577.49. State is asking that the defendant be put on a stringent payment plan so that this money gets paid as quickly as possible. Thank you.
All right, I reviewed the pre-sentence report. And the victim impact statements, as well as a letter on behalf of Mr. Walker. Considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13.
Drop the hammer, Judge. Prosecution was
One of the
denied.
things that really, really bothers me about you beyond the obvious is the fact that you minimized everything when you went over to the probation department and were interviewed over there. From what you did with regard to these 3 jobs, the alleged sale, the lack of any problems with it as it relates to drugs or alcohol, never once indicating that you had a gambling problem, because that's the obvious thing to me, jumps out at you. That's where the money went. Perhaps on your vacation in Florida too. So right up until today, you minimize what's going on here. I'm going to go along with the joint recommendation and place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 180 days in a Lake County jail with credit for 2. You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're going to pay restitution to the Gearbox in the amount of $5,098, to Ms. McAdams in the amount of $4,500, to Ms. Bach the amount of $6,769.51, and that will be payable at the rate of $1,000 per month to probation. You're going to get a drug and alcohol evaluation. You're going to follow the recommendations. You're to have no contact with the victims. You're going to complete the decision points program and follow the recommendations. You're going to get a valid driver's license. You're going to pay the cost and supervision fees. Any other terms, Ms. Randazzo?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Do you understand the terms?
Yes, Judge.
If you don't comply with the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, you face 42 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Judge.
Anything else? What?
Just to clarify for the restitution
What?
amounts, I have $5,000 to the Gearbox.
5,098.
5,098.
Yeah.
4,500 to Ms. McAdams.
Right.
The amount that I had for Ms. Bach was $2,517. So can you just repeat your amount again, please?
She's got an amount of $6,769.59.
Okay.
That was
$759.
$6,769.51.
Thank you.
And that was a higher number that was reduced by whatever method she determined she got items returned.
Thank you.
Anything beyond that?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mulkey, anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, we're adjourned.
All right.
Anything on you want to give your time to give your family?
Just my coat.
Just your coat?
Well, I have cell phone in there.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just take my whole coat.
You want me to take it? Okay, I'll take it.
All right, I'll put ours on your back.
You got anything on you that's illegal or anything you can't take into a jail?
No.
Go this way.
Oh, that was fun. Thank you, Zach. Law Nerds Unite. That was good stuff. That was better than I expected. I thought it was quite satisfying. He's a scumbag. And he was in front of the right judge. It was a beautiful thing to see. It was in the, Maria put it in the comments, but also big happy birthday to Andrea from Iowa. I think she turns 22 today. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.